All right, let's do a role play. You be you.
I'm me.
I'm going to be, Tammy from the Midwest.
Yep.
And she moved here when she was 12, but the accent's very strong. She works at a kebab shop and she loves horses and dolphins, both.
Okay.
And she's constipated. Oh, hi, sir.
Hello, Tammy.
Hey, I just wanted to ask you a question real quick. I think I'm constipated. Hi, my name's Tanya Hennessy. Welcome to The Awkward Ask. Today on The Awkward Ask, we are joined by pharmacist Geoff. I guess to start off with, when we're talking about constipation, how regular is regular?
Anywhere between once every 3 days to up to 3 times a day. It does depend on the person. But yeah, if you're not going every day, it's no problem. Some people do get quite anxious that they haven't passed a bowel motion or a poo. How do you prefer?
Whatever. You can go between bowel motion and poo.
Poo every day and get a bit worried about that, especially with kids, you know.
Do parents really watch every poo that their kids do?
Oh yeah, no, there is a lot of anxiety from parents if their kids aren't as regular perhaps as they are. So,
what do you think the limit of days without a bowel motion is?
Well,
I know it's different per person.
Yeah, and it depends on how much people eat as well, the type of food they eat. But I think after 2 or 3 days, you probably want to have a chat to your Priceline Pharmacist then, just to see if there's been any change that might have brought this on, or if there was another reason for.
Yeah, like environmental, circumstantial.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, I reckon if it's anything like this, it's just not worth the discomfort. It's like, just go in.
Yeah.
Ask the question, get yourself sorted.
Really common. 1 in 5 people will suffer constipation at some stage.
Really?
Or chronically as well. So yes, it affects anyone and everyone at some time.
What sort of causes constipation?
There's a heap of things that can cause it. So anything from dehydration to certain medications can do it. So
yeah, if you're on a painkiller, sometimes really full-on painkillers have that.
And iron supplements are a common culprit of constipation. So we see that a lot. Inactivity, so sometimes if you get bedridden or not exercising regularly, that can happen as well.
Really?
Yeah, and a change in diet. So, if you're not having foods that have a lot of fluid in them, or you're high in fibre, then that can certainly cause it. Pregnancy is another common cause of constipation as well. So we see that a lot.
There's a lot going on down there.
There is. It's busy.
So true. You just don't want any more issues when you're bloody pregnant.
There's enough going on.
It is enough going on. How do you know it's constipation? Is it stomach pain?
Well, there's a few. So there can be problems passing your stools. So you have to push pretty hard, harder than normal. So if the stools are really hard, it can be hard it can be a problem for your bowel to move them on. And again, sometimes localised pain as well in the bowel, and people could sometimes just generally feel unwell if they're badly constipated.
Yeah, it's like painful and annoying.
Yes.
Oof. Why does it take men so long to poo? You guys are in there for an uncomfortable amount of time. 40 minutes.
See, I look at it as, why do women poo so quickly?
Who wants to sit in their own stench?
Well, I don't.
You.
It gives you a chance to catch up on emails, some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
I guess those sorts of things. I don't know. I think women just want to get it in there and get out as quickly as possible. I just wonder if they're actually going in there to fart and not really poo. I'm not sure.
Oh, I'll fart freely in front of anyone. But proudly, arguably.
I don't know really why blokes maybe take a bit longer in there. Maybe they just want to relax a bit.
Do you reckon Hard Stool sounds like a band that you were in high school?
Yep.
Like, I'm on vocals, you're on lead guitar, we are Hard Stool. All right, so what are the treatment options for constipation?
If you're badly constipated, you'll probably be given or suggested to have something that works fairly quickly, like an enema.
What is an enema? It's a suppository, right?
A suppository is inserted, and an enema is also used internally, but so a suppository melts.
Right.
So it's sort of like a wax-based capsule, a large capsule, whereas an enema is a more liquid form. So it has, there can be different amounts, but you can get micro enemas that have a small amount of fluid that you just insert the tip of that and squeeze the fluid in. So
that's how that works.
Yeah, and then that works usually fairly quickly, within
Okay.
15 to 30 minutes. So
do that one at home, not a Westfield bathroom.
that's it. Yep. Don't do it and then try and drive home.
So obviously you've got an enema.
Yep.
What else would be available?
There's a few. So you can have a fibre supplement. So that increases the amount of fibre in your bowel.
Yep.
You can also have ones that draw more water into the bowel. And then you can have stimulants. So they increase the rate at which the bowel moves or
So
passes.
there's a few things.
There's a lot, yeah. And even combinations of those as well, of either a softener or a stimulant.
Do people ever feel a bit anxious taking these types of medicines because they're like, is this going to happen really fast? What if I'm at work?
Yeah, well, and it depends which one. But most of the time it would be overnight. You would take it at evening and then expect something the next day.
It's like a present.
Yes.
Like Santa.
Yes, yeah, wake up
Poo
in the
Santa.
morning and...
But it is exciting if you've not been in a few days. It's actually like, thank you.
Yes, it can make people feel really unwell and get, quite uncomfortable. So yes, it affects anyone and everyone at some time.
So if someone suffers from like a chronic constipation, would that mean that they would be on a more daily
So you
product?
probably find that would be something that helps, things naturally in the sense that it's
like
more
a psyllium husk
more
sort of thing.
fibre in the diet. Rather than a stimulant for the bowel. And sometimes things that we see a lot of, especially in elderly people, where it draws more water into the bowel as well. So ageing, it's part of the ageing process too, unfortunately, is, you're more likely to have constipation.
Can you explain what does the water into the bowels
Well,
do?
if you're dehydrated or there's not enough water, then the stools can become hard. When that happens, it's hard for them to move.
And so the water just makes it looser.
Yes, that's it. Yep.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's like poo science right here. What are some lifestyle changes that people can make?
So certainly increasing hydration is really important. Being active, so moving regularly is worthwhile. Perhaps having a chat to your Priceline Pharmacist about any medications you might be taking that could be causing that as well. So sometimes you might have had an injury and be on a pain medication, so that could cause some temporary constipation.
Yep.
And then there could be other things as well, anxiety or being concerned about, actually going to the toilet because of pain or things like that.
You know those steps people have and they put them close to the toilet to give them a bit of leverage to do like a very good quality poo? What if we come up with one together and we call it the Stool?
Love it. That's great.
Because if it's got a pharmacist attached, people will buy it.
Yep.
And like I'll be like sexy, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And we can do a photo shoot where we're back to back.
That's great.
The Stool.
Stool.
Brought to you by Priceline. Yeah, let's do the photo shoot now. Just while they've got it. Go that camera here. Turn back.
Oh.
And now you've got to look. The Stool, recommended by a pharmacist and a hot girl. This is not a web series.
It's just like Shark Tank here at the moment now, isn't it?
It's Shark Tank. Shark Tank. Okay, how do I explain my poo and what's going on down there? Do I bring it in a small Glad bag?
No, you don't need to bring it in.
Photo?
Look, you could take a photo if you wanted to. But there's different ways. Well, there's a thing called the Bristol stool chart.
I've seen that.
Yes, and that sort of helps describe the different types of poos.
God, Bristol must have loved poo. Bristol was like, I love
Yes.
poo. And everyone's like, oh, God, wee's good too. And he's like, no, I'm all poo.
Yeah. So look, you can discuss, we can have the chart or we can have the chart in front of you. You can say, well, it's like this or it's more like that. And that gives us a good idea about the form of it, I guess.
Yeah, what you're working with.
Yes, yeah, what you may be concerned about.
What if, I think I'm asking this question because I feel like a lot of women might feel uncomfortable. Maybe there's not a female pharmacist on. If I'm coming in to talk to you as a male pharmacist, sometimes there might be a bit of discomfort or,
Yeah. Look, we talk to, a large proportion of our customers are female, so we are always talking to women about all sorts of things. And constipation is just something we talk about to a lot of people every day.
Yeah.
It's a reasonably easy conversation to bring up, and then, you'll probably find the Priceline Pharmacist will start to ask you some questions and you'll be able to then, navigate your way through your concerns like that.
It's part of your job.
It is, but it's everyone poos. So, it doesn't need to be too embarrassing.
Yeah, I think about Beyonce pooing almost every day. Like, not even kidding. I'm like, Or the Queen. I think about it constantly. Like, where's the Queen on the Bristol chart? I don't know. Hey, thank you so much for watching this episode of The Awkward Ask, all about constipation. If you are struggling or feeling any symptoms of constipation, make sure you get into your local Priceline Pharmacy. They'll be able to help you out. Geoff, you're a legend. Thank you so much. In terms of the business model of the Stool,
Yep.
would we go 90-10?
No, I'd be happy for you to have 15.
Oh, you're a terrible negotiator.